What's up, everybody? Welcome to day 2 of the Traffic Secrets book launch. Today we're going over Where Are They Hiding? The Dream 100, secret number 2. All right, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to jump on, and we're going to dive deep into the frameworks of chapter 2, which is secret number 2 in Traffic Secrets. Where are they hiding? The Dream 100. So we're going to go over what the Dream 100 is, what it means, how it was created, how Russell and ClickFunnels use the Dream 100 in almost everything they do, and then how you could actually, in turn, use the Dream 100 approach for your business, all right? So I'm gonna give you guys a few minutes to jump on. We're gonna jump right in. So if you guys are jumping on, I see a couple of you guys starting to jump on. Let me know, comment below where you're watching from. Give this a like, give it a heart. Once the more engagement, I ask you guys to do those things, and you probably know this, but when you guys do that, you share this, you like it, and you comment, it will let other people know that we are live, and we'll get more people jumping on. So I want as many people as possible to see the frameworks I'm teaching in the new Traffic Secrets book. I'm going to be reading the whole thing. We're about this far in. So in the next 20 days, we're going to cover the rest of this. So I'm reading a chapter every night, and I'm making a presentation every morning, it seems. But what I'm going to do tonight is actually make all the presentations as far out as I can, because it is taking a lot of time. And I want to make sure I'm on here at 11 a.m. every day, Pacific Standard Time. So yeah, every day for the next 18 more days, I'll be going live to teach you guys one more chapter or secret and teaching the frameworks in this book. So what I'm doing is giving these frameworks and these presentations, including the slides that you can go and edit and copy for yourself and be able to go and teach your own audiences these same frameworks, and all the work's done for you. All the slide decks, which is taking me a lot of time, I'm giving those for free. Anyone who buys a copy of the book, I make $1, so it's, not like I'm doing this for the money. I just want to get this message out there and share this. But if you guys go to tslaunch.com, you guys can get your copy of Traffic Secrets, and I'm going to send you an email. I'm checking at least twice a day, so it might take a couple hours, but be patient. You will get your bonuses. I'll go over those at the end of what I'm giving to people who are buying this book from me. But let's jump into the presentation. I'm waiting for the broadcast to go out, and then we're going to dive into the presentation I've created for you guys. So I'm just curious, if you guys are watching right now, we got Ricky, Renee, David, Vivica, Aaron, Stacy. What's up, guys? Stacia, sorry. How you doing, Stacia? I haven't seen you in a while. Tammy, Mike. Who of you guys are applying the Dream 100 to your business currently? Most people are like, 100 people to outline is a lot to make a list on, and I get it. And the reason we do 100 is because maybe 5 or 10 of them are actually going to accept and work with you. If you do the Dream 100 approach that I've been doing, I'll show you guys how I'm doing it. I'm not really doing it exactly like most people. I'm kind of finding who I would like to work with and help promote their audience, and they promote to my audience and things like that. And I'm working in a very strategic way where we're building relationships, getting to know each other. And I look at it as like lifelong partnerships in business that we're going to be able to help each other out and collaborate. My whole mission is like really change this landscape from competitive to collaboration. And I'm doing that with all my programs. And hopefully you guys see that in this group too. So how can we all collaborate together to get our messages further out? All right, so let's jump into the presentation. I see a bunch of you guys jumping on. If you guys are just jumping on, let me know where you're watching from below in the comments. Really appreciate that. And give us a like, give it a heart. And we're going to go and start teaching you guys the frameworks from chapter 2, which is the Dream 100 in Traffic Secrets. Who's ready? You guys ready? Let's do this. I'm going to read you guys a little excerpt today too to start off. So, boom, 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 boom. Secret number 2. Yesterday I did secret number 1. That video is still live, but I will be removing it today. So go watch it if you haven't already. I'm going to be removing these each day just so I could put them into the course area where you're going to get access to them when you buy the book. All right. So let's share this from the beginning. All right. Secret number 2. Where are they hiding? The Dream 100. All right. So here's our agenda. You guys know I'd like to start off with an agenda, show you guys what we're doing on this call to respect your time, and you guys will know how long this will take. Probably about 15 minutes. All right, we're going to go through an exercise together. We're going to go over the Dream 100 approach 1-to-1, and then the Dream 100 1-to-many. Number 5 is create your Dream 100 list. Number 6 is 2 core types of congregations. And number 7 is where to get started. How do we create our Dream 100 list? Like, how do I start this thing, right? So let's jump in to introduction. All right, what I want you guys to start thinking about, all right, Russell goes into the book, opens up the first chapter, and he's like, all right, guys, when I was basically selling a product when he first started, he was trying to think of like, he's marketing to everybody online. or offline too. And like, we got to find out who's your customer and where are they congregating, because once you find that out, you don't have to ask, how do I get traffic to my funnel? You ask, where are my dream customers congregating? And that's going to tell you where you got to go run ads, where you got to go spend your time, where you have to go give value to those communities. And you'll see it right now. Like most big influencers that teach digital marketing and things that we're doing here are showing you guys how to join Facebook groups where your customers are congregating and go provide value to them. All right. So if you're providing value to a Facebook group that has nothing to do with your offer, then obviously it's not going to work. But they show this, like, fishing from all over the world to get all your fish into one barrel, right? And that's kind of the whole principle of the Dream 100 approach. So I'm going to start off by just reading you guys about the Dream 100 here in a moment. But the questions I want you to ask yourself are, what are the top websites that my dream customers go to? What forums or message boards are they participating in? Who are the influencers they follow on Instagram, Facebook? What podcasts are they listening to? What are the emails, newsletters, okay, they are subscribed to? What blogs do they read? And what channels are they following on YouTube? What keywords are they searching for in Google, right? So when you start asking yourself these things, you're going to realize how to narrow down who your customer is, what are they doing, and where are they hanging out. All right. What's up, Sharon? We got Sharon from Alberta. Steve's jumping on. What's up, Tim? What's up, Daniel? Gabrielle's in South Africa. Appreciate you guys jumping on. All right, let's read you guys a little excerpt. All right, we're going to talk about Chet Holmes real quick. So I actually bought this book after Russell recommended it. And one of my favorite quotes of this chapter right now, secret number 2, is, where are they hiding the Dream 100? He's talking about this. The goal of the Dream 100 is to take your ideal buyers from, I've never heard of this company, to, what is this company I keep hearing about, to, I think I've heard of this company, to, yes, I do business with that company. So who is this company, to doing business with this company? And the whole Dream 100 approach helps you do this. So I'm just going to read the first few pages of chapter 2 to you guys, and just think about how it relates to you and your business. All right. So one day in college, I knew I was supposed to be doing homework, but my ADHD mind couldn't take it anymore. I had to stop writing, even if it was just for minutes. I looked around to make sure no one else was looking. Then I opened a new tab on my browser. I started typing www.themat.com. And then within seconds, I was taken to the new universe, a universe occupied by hundreds of thousands of wrestlers just like me, all around the world. This was our playground where we could talk about wrestling, post pictures and videos, and debate about who was going to win every match happening in that next big tournament. I read a few articles and watched a video showing a new way to finish a single leg takedown. Afterwards, I went to the forums. Oh, how I love the forums. Who is better, Dan Gable in his prime or Caleb Sanderson now? Someone just had posted. Of course, I had an opinion, and it took everything I had not to spend the next 90 minutes writing my thoughtful responses about how, if we shrunk Cale down to Dan's size and took him in a time machine back to the 70s, Cale would have destroyed Dan head to head. But I knew I couldn't. My paper was due the next day, and I locked away in a study hall, and it was already done. Angrily, I closed down the tab and sat back in my chair to stretch before the trip back to reality. This is Russell Brunson, by the way, guys, if you haven't realized. As I was leaning back, I started looking at the other wrestler friends who were locked away in the study hall with me for bad grades. As I glanced towards our 133-pounder, I noticed a smile on his face. How do you smile in study hall? As I shifted my gaze from his face to his monitor, I saw he was also on the mat.com. He was writing his comments on why he thought Dan would actually beat Cale. All right, so he's talking about how he's realizing that to market to people that are interested in the things you're interested in, there's things online, even back before the internet. He's talking about congregations and where they're hanging out, and it's really opening to the fact that most people are doing this wrong, right? So we're going after the wrong audiences, the wrong targets, and we really need to focus in on people and their interests and find them and speak about those interests and the stories that we have around them. All right, I'm not going to bore you guys by reading the whole chapter, but I thought it was pretty cool the way he starts talking about Chet Holmes and how he actually went through his story and created the Dream 100. So, all right, so let's talk about one-to-many. Another person, I feel like if you guys were at Funnel Hacking Live, you met Tom Bilyeu. The guy is probably my favorite speaker at Funnel Hacking Live. He's sold his Quest company for $1 billion. You guys probably heard of Quest Nutrition. And he basically talks about how he grew and started Quest, right? And let me see if I can find that quote because it was really, really powerful. He says, when people are building a community, they have a real sense of service to that community. We would send free product and just say, if you like it, tell people. And if you hate it, tell people that too. Not trying to steer people's comments, gave us a pretty great recommendation. All right, so sometimes you guys see this. If you actually go and approach someone to promote your product and give you positive reviews, it's probably not the best approach. So Tom and his team actually wrote handwritten letters to the top influencers in the nutrition space and said, just go talk about this to your audience. If you like it, awesome. If not, that's cool too. So I thought that was a pretty cool way to understand how the one-to-many approach will work. All right. But one-to-one, for example, I'm trying to find Chet Holmes' example of the one-to-one. It was pretty cool. But when this book first started, Chet Holmes, if you guys don't know, he wrote The Ultimate Sales Machine. He started his career working for Charlie Munger, who was known as Warren Buffett's business partner in Berkshire Hathaway. So this is the part I really wanted to read to you guys because this is really cool when you're considering approaching one-to-one and how the Dream 100 was really born. So Chet sold advertising for one of the company's legal magazines. At the time, they were really struggling. They were last in sales in their market. Chet was working with a database for over 2,000 advertisers. He made sales calls every day, but they were still dead last at number 15 out of 15 magazines of their industry. Then one day, Chet had an idea. He did some research and discovered that out of 2,000 advertisers, 167 of them were spending 95% of their advertising budgets with his competitors. So he defined those 167 spending all the money in the industry as his best buyers. Then he stopped marketing to everyone else and focused his time and efforts on those 167 advertisers. His strategy included sending out direct mail pieces with lumpy objects in them every 2 weeks, where he followed up with each package with a phone call. Twice a month, he'd mail a package, and twice a month, he'd call. Because these weren't the biggest buyers, they were the hardest people to reach. After 4 months of following this strategy, he got 0 responses. Chet was known for what he called PhD, pig-headed discipline, though he refused to give up. Then in the 4th month, something changed. He landed his first big account, Xerox. It was the biggest advertising buy ever for the company. And the 6th month, he had landed 28 of the 167 advertisers. With those 20 advertisers, Chet doubled the sales over the previous year and went from number 15 in the industry to number 1 for his magazine. He kept doubling sales for the next 3 years in a row. And by the end of the year 3, he had successfully brought all 167 of his Dream 100 as advertisers in their magazine. Chet, the goal of the Dream 100 is to take your ideal buyer, which I kind of just quoted here. So I'm not going to reread it. Chet also used the same strategy to penetrate Hollywood. He had written a screenplay called Emily's Song, and he had decided he wanted to sell the screenplay to Hollywood. The only problem was he didn't know anyone in the entertainment field, so he bought an issue of Premiere magazine that listed the 100 most powerful people in Hollywood, which became his Dream 100 list. He used that same Dream 100 process to contact these people, and within months, he was able to get LeAnn Rimes to read the script. Together, they went to Warner Bros., where the screenplay was purchased. So this is talking about how to reach out to one-on-one influencers to really, like, if you have a product and you could get just one major person in your industry on board, it's going to give you more credibility to the rest of them. So once you get one of them, so that's why a lot of people work the Dream 100 backwards. If Russell Brunson is number 1 on my Dream 100 list, I'm probably going to start with Doug Boughton, who's 100, right? Because I'm probably more likely to work with somebody who's starting out. And then as you kind of get the next big domino, the next big person is going to want to agree to work with you. So it's kind of what Chet Holmes is talking about one-to-one. And then in one-to-many, like I mentioned with Tom earlier, it's more about approaching people with audiences. So if you write down like your top 10 websites and forums people are spending time on, who owns that forum? Who owns that website? Write down 15 plus Facebook groups that your dream customer participate in, and then who owns those groups? Who are the leaders of those communities? 30 podcasts they listen to, and go find the people creating those podcasts, emails, newsletters, things like that. We'll go over all those categories here in a moment. But that's how we do it, right? And I have personally never started sending out mail or anything like that. My way to connect is personally, I like meeting people at events in person where I can really connect with them. We get to chat, get to know each other, and if our audiences can serve one another, if we could serve their audience and they could serve my audience. So creating your Dream 100 list, right? Russell goes really into how they don't just use Dream 100 to sell ClickFunnels, but they use the approach for almost everything they do to finding new markets to create products in and everything. And obviously he's done an amazing job. He has Tony Robbins selling his book, right? Which is probably his Dream 100 #1. So Russell's already been able to achieve this. And what's kind of cool is they sent me a book, which is cool. So maybe I'm considered one of their Dream 100, which is really awesome because they know that I love everything they do and want to promote everything they do, and that's why I do it, right? So two types of congregations. So when you're thinking about finding out where your dream customer is, you have interest-based congregations and keyword-based congregations. Yesterday, we talked a little about search versus scroll. And interest is scroll and keyword is search, obviously. So when you're thinking about interest-based congregations, you got to find out who are the people, influencers, celebrities, thought leaders, authors, etc., that are congregating your dream customers. What companies are you following? What movies, books, brands are you following? And then when it comes to keyword congregations, like for example, for my YouTube, I love doing how-to videos, how to connect your domain with ClickFunnels, how to set up active campaign with ClickFunnels, right? So how-to is awesome. You could do best bonuses for traffic secrets. I see a lot of people crushing it on YouTube right now for making videos to promote this book, and they're getting a lot of sales from it. I'm sure if you guys are looking for a plumber in your town, you're going to say plumber in San Diego, right? Or wherever you're from. So when you're creating content, these are the keywords you want to create, especially if you're blogging, doing podcasts, YouTube videos. Facebook is probably more interest-based congregating, obviously like Facebook groups and pages, I guess, if you want to do that. I think pages are kind of dead in my opinion. But yeah, so these are the two congregations that he talks about in this chapter and how to influence them. And what he says is at ClickFunnels, we don't just leverage the Dream 100 approach for traffic. We use it for everything. How do we pick a market we want to enter? We use the Dream 100 to research different markets and niches. Then we narrow it on one-to-ones that best suit us. How do we decide our blue ocean strategy? We use the Dream 100 to find red oceans and carve out our place in the market. How do we create our offers and figure out what's going on to sell, what we're going to sell? We use the Dream 100 model to offer that are going in our marketplace, which takes out the headache and hassle of blind guessing, right? So when you have a good Dream 100 strategy, which I'm going to show you guys here in a second, how to create your Dream 100 strategy and how to move forward with it and how I'm actually doing it in a practical manner because I'm only one person. And I think it's honestly kind of hard to build a list of 100 people. But I'm doing it at an approach where I'm narrowing it down based on people involved in my market and then my sub-market and then my niche, right? Which is how we're going to get started here today. So if you guys have not done the Dream 100, I don't blame you. I know it's a lot of work, but here's the thing. You already kind of know who's doing the things you want to do, who's congregating the audiences that you're going to serve. And I want to talk about, what other vehicles are people trying to use, insert their desire with insert your sub-market here. So if your sub-market is wealth, for example, right, which most of ours are, we're trying to create income online and teach people how to do that as well, whether it's selling our own products or other people's products and services. It's pretty much, we're all mostly in the wealth industry. Unless if you're here and maybe you are in the relationships or the health space, you can really apply this to almost anything. But we're going to use wealth as an example. So in the wealth core market, let's say it's real estate sub-market. So you have wealth market, core market, marketing sub-market, and then you're going to go into all the different things that you could go into, like Facebook ads, sales funnels, e-commerce, Amazon, internet marketing, and ask, what other vehicles are people trying to use to make money inside of real estate in a submarket? The answers to the questions would include house flipping, short sales, and wholesaling. So you're going to go find the leaders who have audiences in each of these industries, and those are going to be the people that you want to connect with and really bring your idea to their audience. And obviously you're going to either earn your way in or you could pay your way in by giving them a cut. Most people I've done joint ventures with, we do a 50-50 split. And I only bring people into my audience who are going to serve you guys, right? So I've only worked with pretty much Catherine Jones, who else? Blake Newbar, and Andrew Cruzy. So I haven't really done a lot of that, but I think it's something I want to do more of. If we could help collaborate among each other and serve each other's audiences, I think it's a win-win-win. It's a win for everybody involved. All right. So what you got to think about is what your niche is, your sub-markets, and what niches are there that you could find audiences and connect with the owners of those audiences, the people that are congregating, the people that are likely to buy your product, service, or software. All right, so what's next? After you've finished filling in your Dream 100 worksheet, then you'll be ready to discover the hook, story, offer framework that you'll be using over and over again to pull people from your Dream 100 into your funnels, right? So that's going to be tomorrow's training. It's secret number 3, hook, story, offer, and attractive character.